one's still down though.
The Facebook page was up. I thought.
When I shared it, I mean, it could be. It just says this content's not available right now.
All kinds of fun stuff. Something you thought we'd iron out if we were professional, huh? Yeah, it got blocked at Facebook too. You're right. Let me do this. Are we up on YouTube?
We are on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, the stream is reset. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, YouTube's up. It's just Facebook is not.
Okay. I picture our people like the Keystone Cops, like running back and forth, like from YouTube, and then they all run back over to Facebook.
We got some. We got some loyal viewers out there. Danielle is sticking with us.
Okay, we're on. I think we're on both. I think we're back, everybody. So, like I said, I love Cruella. Anyway, let's just keep going here. And I apologize if you stuck with us through all that. That's fabulous. But here's a recap of what you missed, basically. I'm the red thumb. The green thumb represents Nate Adams. And let me get my bearings here, and we'll be right back.
Come back.
See you on Facebook. Okay. Hey, my wife is still watching, and that's really all that matters.
That's right. We love
right, Nate?
Yes, we love Mrs. Santilli.
Let's segue right into this. I'm gonna iron this out too at the studios, but to try to avoid future problems, I'm gonna not play a clip that I had prepared for A Quiet Place.
just to be on the same side.
I was supposed to play a trailer for Conjuring, which again I have complete clearance from the studio to do, but now I am scared to do so.
Yeah, sometimes they just get flagged and they don't even realize it, and then they realize, we shouldn't have flagged that. It's almost like a reaction. It's like a reflex.
Well, because most people don't have the rights to do it. So the movie critics who are streaming online, it's a tough life, Nate. Deal with these people.
Let's talk about Quiet Place 2 then. Let's do it.
Let's talk about Quiet Place 2. I got a little write-up I was going to read. Now I feel like we're doing Wayne's World. All right. Quiet Place 2 picks up right where the original 2018 film left off. Emily Blunt and her children, played by Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe, trying to survive in a quiet new world where monsters will appear and kill you if you so much as make a noise. Emily Blunt's real-life husband and fellow actor John Krasinski once again writes and directs this chapter and stars in a vital flashback sequence that gives us just enough new information to keep things interesting. Cillian Murphy, the great Cillian Murphy, joins the cast as a widowed father they encounter along the way. Nate, I thought this film was brilliant. I thought it worked well as a thriller. It's like in a weird niche PG-13 like family horror category, like occupying its own space. And I thought that it did not feel like the kind of sequel that is just a cash grab.
Yeah, I really loved how it expanded the world. And it's one of the rare horror sequels that is almost as good, if not better than the original. See, for me, it's not as good as A Quiet Place in the sense that it's not as fresh, right? Because we know the monsters, we know what they're after, we know what they're doing. It's a little different. Whereas like it was all kind of coming at us at once. And this one, especially in like the last 20 or 30 minutes, there's like 7 or 8 kind of storylines kind of concurring, and it never feels like it's overstuffed. Like this thing's 90 minutes and it moves. Like one is overpowering the other. It feels very cohesive, but some of that it does kind of take away that element where I don't think it's better than the first one. It's still a great sequel that does what all good sequels are supposed to do, right? It builds on its predecessor while not undermining it, right? I was just very impressed with the cast. Millicent Simmons, she's a hearing impaired, she's a deaf actor, and she communicates, she almost steals the show, really evolves from the first one, gets a sizable amount of screen time. Meanwhile, Emily Blunt, she's kind of stuck to the sidelines a little bit. So Cillian Murphy kind of gets to take over the John Krasinski role, right? I love the beginning, the opening prologue, where it kind of goes back to the beginning. We kind of get an idea, but there's still an element of mystery, right? We don't really still know these origins of these creatures. I still have a lot of questions, and to me, that's going to get me to come back for. I'm assuming there's going to be a part 3.
That's why I think it was so well done, because there is a tendency to want to just explain everything away with the sequel, and they give you enough where it's not frustrating, like on the other, it's like a balance. Because if you go the other way, you can't go through like 4, 5, 6 movies and then never know anything. Like at some point they have to tell you what these things are. So they walk the fine line, but they give you just enough to kind of make it more interesting, but they leave all these dangling questions. I thought, as far as Emily Blunt taking a back seat, that again, I don't want to give away anything, but that kind of goes with the whole theme of what they're doing. Is this generational thing. Maybe it's just the fact that I hadn't been at a theater in a year, and we've been.
I was sitting next to you and your wife at the screening, and it was fun watching you guys. It was like we were all kind of just on we were just riding the same wavelength a little bit, and that was incredible. The sound system, I think, we talked, it's a quiet place, so like the sound is not as imperative, but I did notice in that first scene, the very first scene, when it's before like all hell breaks loose, Krasinski, who wrote and directed this one as well, like it just proves that A Quiet Place was no fluke. Like this guy he just pounded out the script in 2 or 3 weeks, and he like purposely amplifies every sound. Like there's a scene where he rips off, everything that we've gone and done, which is like go to the grocery store and we pick out like an apple and put it in the bag. Like he rips the bag off of the thing, and it was just like, it was piercing. Every sound in the, like, I'm just like, that is a great filmmaker who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I was happy to be along for a ride in the biggest screen you can.
I mean, it's hard to say that the guy from The Office is like this master of intense thrillers, but through these 2 movies, he really shows like that keen sense of not manipulating the scare. Like nobody likes like to get door opens and you jump or what, like when it's manipulated,
organic. It's all organic.
Scare,
everything is organic.
Feels like a part of the story, and he's, like you said with the sound, he's not afraid to use the quiet. And in this environment, that quiet is like its own character almost.
Right.
There's a whole scene in this film when they're doing it from Millicent Simmons's perspective, where there's no audio at all.
Right.
And she's just like running around and whatever. And it doesn't go on for like 2 seconds. It's like a whole scene. And not a lot of people would be bold enough to try that or have it be that quiet.
Right. And it's just a substantial, you can tell that there was a bigger budget. It's a little bit more of like, just Krasinski showing confidence. He has a lot of confidence with what he's doing. There's a lot of things. There's a sequence towards the end of the film, like actually the climax, like near the climax, but it was just textbook how it was done and like the way that it builds. I don't watch, I've made it very public. I don't watch any trailers before I see any movie. I'm very disciplined in that I go into every movie as blind as I possibly can, so I could be completely surprised by what was happening. And so that engulfed me. As soon as we get off here, I'm actually going to see it again. I'm jetting to the theater and I'm going to go see it for a second time. That's how good it is. That's how good
cool.
It is.
If people haven't been paying attention, 2 green thumbs up. That means that me and Adam both would recommend this movie. And again, I couldn't recommend it even any higher.
Yeah, big thumbs up.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Like I was starting to say, maybe it's because there's too much politics in our lives, but I was seeing a lot of allegory in this movie. A lot of
of course. And it was made pre-pandemic, and now it has like this whole new meaning.
Right.
Absolutely. The first one, it was about family and like separate, and this one is completely different context.
How smart is it too that they were so confident that this movie would play well in a theater that they kept it. They kept delaying it. And then they actually moved it up
$60 million
this weekend. And I'm so glad. Yeah.
Movies are back.
So glad that this was the movie that brought people back.
John Krasinski saved theaters, not Christopher Nolan.
Nate, it's up to you, man, because I know we had some technical glitches and whatnot. You want to hang around for the rest of the show, or do you want me to let you go?
I do gotta jet out. Do you want me to quickly plug what I'm excited for like June, or do you want me to? Yeah.
Yes, but I'm not going to play the clip like I was going to because I'm just going to avoid all that for
now. Everybody, if I'm really trying to get the word out. It's a film called Port Authority. It's directed by Danielle Lesovitz, executive produced by Martin Scorsese, premiered at Cannes in 2019. It stars Leanna Bloom and Fionn Whitehead from Dunkirk. He was in Voyagers earlier this year. It's called the movie's called Port Authority, and it's on streaming digital. It's a trans romantic drama that takes place obviously in New York City, and it's just very raw, and it's in the dance scene. There's just a lot going on. I'm just trying to get the word out about it. It's not a lot of people are singing or chatting about it. Didn't really get a marketing campaign, so I really enjoyed that. And then also Plan B is on Hulu, directed by another female director. Hooray for female directors, Victoria Morales, and it stars Kuhu Verma and Victoria Morales. And it's a raunchy comedy in the vein of Olivia Wilde's Booksmart or Superbad, where it's like it's a raunchy comedy. Two girls, one of them wakes up the morning after realizing that she had relations the night before, and she might potentially be pregnant. So they go on a cross-country journey in South Dakota to find a Plan B pill. Hijinks ensues. Obviously, I thought it was very, very funny. It joins the ranks of like Booksmart, all those comedies that I mentioned. I can't recommend it enough. So, as far as coming out in June, we got Luca coming on Disney Plus, the next Pixar film, which I'm so bummed that they didn't go a theatrical route, because it looks like, just from the pictures and the imagery that I've seen, that it would probably play really well in a movie theater.
Maybe they'll change it up. I mean, I really think we could see some things changing.
I hope so. I hope they do. And then we got Lin-Manuel Miranda's In the Heights, directed by John M. Chow, who directed Crazy Rich Asians, which I have seen, and it is incredible. Comes out June 11th in theaters and on HBO Max. Don't watch it on HBO Max if you can. I mean, obviously, some people are still working their way back to theaters. I get that, but I saw it in a theater with the best sound, and I was. Are you a Sparks fan? The music, the duo, the Sparks. Have you listened? Well, Edgar Wright directed a doc.
I would have to tell you that I must be too old or young, or I don't even know who they are.
Edgar Wright's got a documentary coming out, The Sparks Brothers, which is about them. I saw it back at Sundance in January, and it stuck with me every day. I've been listening to the Sparks on repeat, their music. I had no idea who they were. But the Edgar Wright's documentary is coming out next month, and I highly recommend everybody seeks it out. Even people that were Sparks fans, like me, I had no idea who they were. They're brothers, they're musicians, and everybody loves them, and they have 30 albums. It's just a crazy, crazy story. And the Sparks will have a film coming out at the end of the summer called Annette. They wrote the music for it, and it's got Adam Driver in it. So they're kind of glowing up, and I think that a lot of people are going to be talking about Sparks by the end of the summer. So that too, I'm excited for all those, for everybody to see those films.
While we're talking about it, I'm not going to let you leave yet, since you already mentioned some of these films, but coming soon. So because we are a monthly show now, our next show will be coming up at the end of June. So we thought we would just preview a couple of these, but so next weekend we got The Conjuring, the next movie. We're going to be giving away tickets here momentarily, so stick around if you hear your name, and you could win some free tickets to that. Spirit Untamed, it's a DreamWorks thing, animated film. Too many horse movies, in my opinion, but there you go. You got In the Heights, of course, like Nate mentioned, on June 11th, the big Lin-Manuel Miranda movie. 6/18, actually the Wednesday, 6/16, is the Ryan Reynolds Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Looks like a comedy action movie. Then you got Fatherhood starring Kevin Hart coming to Netflix. Luca is a film that Nate mentioned. And then that builds up, of course, to what should be the next major, huge blockbuster, Fast and the Furious 9, June 25th.
Whoa.
Of course, you can find my reviews for all of these on movieshowplus.com. You can find Nate Adams' review of all these movies, so I'm sure he's going to see all of these movies.
I will.
And review them. And I'm going to flash your stuff one more time here. The only
down there. Oh, down there.
Yep. And at the only critic on Twitter. And are you on Instagram, right?
Yeah, everything. Only Critic everywhere. Just find me. Search me.
Everything.
Beat me if you want to
Only
reach
critic,
me.
everything. So Nate, again, man, thanks. Sorry for the glitches.
No, thanks so much for having me, Tom.
Again. You're becoming a regular.
I love it. Please keep me back. I love chatting with everybody. Buddy. Thanks so much.
All right, man. Peace. All right, I'm gonna try to get this rodeo, whatever the expression is there. I'm gonna try to end this soon. So let's get to The Conjuring. We have been pulling raffles out of our e-newsletter list. And I'm going to show you this real quick too. One more urge for you to join us in supporting us on Patreon. Maybe we can hire a lawyer to make sure we have all the rights cleared for our clips before each show. Maybe I can hire a guy to actually live switch the show for me so I can pay attention to the camera. All kinds of stuff we can do if you want to help us out with being a Patreon. We just created some new tiers and some new ways. And by the way, if you're not familiar with what Patreon is, you sign up. It's like a monthly thing as low as $3 a month. And depending on what level you sign up at, you can get stuff. We have tiers where you can get free movie tickets, some memorabilia from us, gift cards, all kinds of stuff. So even like Movie Show Plus swag, like cup, hat, tote bag, all that kind of fun stuff. So with that, let me see who we got. I'm going to read your names out. These are the 5 winners selected at random from our e-newsletter. Each person that I read their name, you have just won 2 tickets to The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, courtesy of Fandango. And if you win, you will be emailed by us within the next 24 hours with instructions on how to claim your prize. So the winners are Barb Iovan, Stephen Taylor, who actually is a new Patreon. I just seen come through. So thank you, Stephen, for your support. Those extra ballots that you got by being a Patreon ended up winning something. So the third person is Marcia Albertson, Dwayne Breeden, and Brandon Rowells. I know Brandon. All right, man. So they're the 5 winners: Barb Iovan, Stephen Taylor, Marcia Albertson, Dwayne Breeden, Brandon Rowells. You guys just won 2 tickets to The Conjuring. I will be, you'll get an email and we'll go from there with how to instruct you on how to claim your tickets. Everybody, thank you. It wasn't exactly smooth due to some unforeseen circumstances. But I do appreciate everybody joining us today for this live episode. Before we go, I'm just going to give you one more thing. This is our upcoming show schedule. So as everybody knows, you can find us on TV on WADL. You can check your local listings to find where you can get that. All of our episodes, of course, are available on movieshowplus.com and our website. Our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel. But from here out, next Sunday will be a repeat of the episode that aired today earlier on WADL. That's at 4:30 on Sunday. Then on Sunday, June 13th, there will be a repeat of this live episode. So if there are people that are not online at all, you can still get to see the live episode, usually like 2 weeks after it would air. On the June 20th, the 3rd Sunday of the month, we're going to do another repeat or a special repeat episode of our show on WADL. And then Sunday, June 27th would be our next actual episode of the show that would air at 4:30 on WADL, as well as on Facebook and YouTube. Followed at 5 o'clock by our next live show. Who knows? You got to be here to find out what could possibly go wrong next time. So I am Tom Santilli. I appreciate everybody's help and support. It's been fun. Thank you, everybody, for being interactive and commenting. I'll just post one more thing here. One of our people watching right now recommends the movie Blue Miracle on Netflix. I actually missed that. Here's my lovely sister, who is a massive supporter of my show, and I love you, Dawn. Thank you. She can't wait for Luca. Either can I. It's Italy and Disney. What, that sounds everything that we would ever want. Except I'm mad that they're probably going to turn the World Showcase. Italy is going to now turn into Luca. They've already turned France into Ratatouille and Norway into Frozen. It used to be the adult area of Disney World. It's a whole different show, guys. I'll get to that later. But at any rate, coming to the Italy Pavilion. Exactly. That's our show. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Check out Movie Show Plus for all of my reviews of upcoming films this and every week. And we'll see you around.